Welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Here we are. Welcome back in to episode 332.5. Let's stop for a second and just bask in that number, 332. There was that period of time I took like roughly like five weeks off between episodes. But man, it's been going on a very long time. Speaking of which, I've been doing interviews for a very long time. So that's pretty cool. I've been talking to people, been tricking people into having conversations with me. Who did I trick today? We spoke to friend of the show. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's been on 2 other times. This is his 3rd time. You've already seen the name. Ryan Hansen is back. I have to come up with a title I already used returns for the 2nd one. So what happens on the 3rd one? I don't know. Ryan Hansen a 3rd time? I try not to make the titles funny. most like the rest of this episode. Just people just like having to put up with the dumb questions I ask. Ryan Hansen is back. We are talking to him about Night Court again. He returns as his character, the same character. Jake. What's going to happen between Jake and Abby? I don't know. We'll see. I watched the episode. So you'll have to. Well, I mean, what's today? The 2nd? Okay. Well, if you watched Night Court live last night, you definitely saw what happened. It's all right. It's fine. What is there to say about this new chat? Well, I'll tell you this. For one, it would have been in video. However, on my end, my camera was not working. Unfortunately, my camera just did not work. There's something going. I don't know what it is. It's Macs. Macs are just they're. It's easy to get a hold of, but there's not much you can do compared to the Windows. Windows I can troubleshoot all day. Mac, for some reason, it doesn't work very well with my Logitech accessories. And bear in mind, I like to spend some money on my accessories to make sure they last a long time. The mouse, the keyboard, they were all types of goofed up that day. The webcam, obviously the webcam wasn't working. That's why this is only audio. I don't know. I'll figure out some type of video component. I'll tell you this much, and I'll get back to Ryan in a second. After the interview finished, I thought, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna do it in video form? Because his video was working, but mine wasn't. And I thought maybe I should just record every single time I spoke in the audio form. Would it be funny if I recorded the video version of myself today in this moment, pretending to ask the questions, and not doing a microphone, just literally just me pantomiming the questions? And that was a true thought of mine for roughly a day, and then the next morning I was at the gym and I said to myself, that's a stupid idea. It's a very stupid idea. And also it would take so much work. So I decided not to. So here we are. If you want to talk, Jesus, I guess you could. If you want to see some Ryan Hansen online, you can check him out at Hi Ryan Hansen on Instagram. He's got some type of YouTube video linked inside of his page. Oh, he has a Cameo account. And he has a show called Dad Dinner, looks like. All right, that's pretty cool. Ryan Hansen, Night Court. He's got things coming out. Check him out. Go to his IMDb. I'm looking at it right now. You know him. Party Down. A lot of other things. A million little things. That wasn't the name I was trying to remember. And Fantasy Island. I just watched Fantasy Island in October as a part of my, and I'll throw to the interview in a second. As a part of my, I was watching a horror movie a day. I liked it. I liked it. Although at the end, to set up who was playing Tattoo, there, the main character, the guy who's in charge of the island, who I think is John, not John Leguizamo, but anyway, Michael Pena. They're like, he was like, why do they call you Tattoo? To Jimmy O Yang. It was very funny. I've said it up wrong. Okay, Ryan Hansen coming up right after that, and then stay tuned. I have another interview, which I will intro in a second after the interview with Ryan. Okay, I should have pressed this button earlier. Now I have to start talking for a little bit, or maybe I don't have to. Okay, enjoy this interview with Ryan Hansen. Watch Night Court. We'll see you in a second. Bye bye.
Chad, I don't get to see you. That's a thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the thing. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but you can just pretend that you see my gorgeous, beautiful face in front of yours.
Okay, yeah, I'm having problems with my camera too. Weird.
Oh, it's no
Okay,
worries.
okay, okay. Just kidding. Okay. What's up,
Look,
dude?
nothing much. I just watched the episode. It's great to see you come back, mostly because I know in this world of making television, unless somebody dies, unless a character is dead, we're not going to say goodbye to them. And but it's always a surprise to me in a comedy whenever they bring somebody back. Did you know from the beginning that you were going to come back, or did you just assume that, hey, this is it, we're broken up and we're probably going to be done?
Yeah, no, they don't really tell me. Actually, like when I first signed on to the show, I think it was only supposed to be like one episode, maybe two, and then I've done like a bunch of them since then. And so, yeah, I guess I was kind of like, you never know, but the breakup really felt like, well, this could be it. They're moving on. She'll get another boyfriend, another storyline. But I'm so pumped that they asked me to come back and do a bunch more because it really is the most fun show to be on, and I love it. And this episode, like you just said, is pretty great. It's I get to dance, baby. Who doesn't love a little disco dance?
Yeah. Can we let's talk about those moves. The pointing, the lip bite. It was truly an amazing thing to see. I want to know, how many times did you intentionally mess that up so that you could just keep going back and enjoying yourself? And I know, and look, I know how TV works. I've been on sets before. There's no music playing. So you're just moving your hips to
Totally. There's like
what's
a
going
like
on.
a little beat that
Yeah.
everyone can kind of feel the rhythm. That's it. Yeah. Or they play it at the beginning and then they cut it off and then there's yeah. Well, thankfully we had Chris Judd, who's like a legendary choreographer, come and help us with this. Not that we're doing anything crazy, but um, I didn't intentionally mess up all the time. It just kind of happens. So I didn't have to make myself mess up. You just kind of mess up, but you get to do it a bunch and it's so fun. And I love some choreography. I grew up doing musical theater and all that stuff. And so it just kind of brought me back to that because, there's most shows you don't get to dance.
Yeah, I always think it's so great when you get to see people having fun and doing something that is not typically done. I mean, I'm sure I've never seen Euphoria, but maybe they dance in Euphoria.
I've
Uh,
never seen it either. I was told not to watch it. I have three daughters.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I was
I
told
would definitely avoid that.
stay away from that. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they dance too. I think they do other kind of dancing, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like this. Right now, I think at this point in time, we can safely say that Night Court is the most fun NBC show. It's the one that's doing the most with probably, and I know multicams don't have a lot of money, probably the least, and they're able to just kind of go with it. I know I've mentioned this before, but original Night Court was so silly, and this show is now allowing itself to be just as silly. So it's now going for it, and I feel like everybody is the most comfortable that they've ever been.
Yeah, it really feels like the Night Court cast and crew has really found their groove. And like you said, when you watch an episode of Night Court, it feels like anything can happen, which I feel like is so fun, especially for a multicam. Like it's one of those things that if you want to just feel happy and laugh, like that's your show. It's not going to be Euphoria or whatever, but it's the one you watch after Euphoria before you go to bed.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
Was there a point when you were shooting the final scene of this episode, or the final scene with Abby, rather, was there a point where you thought that this could be the end for you and Melissa? You know, bereft of, even thinking of further episodes, or if you signed on for further episodes or not. Was this something that felt final to you, or did you want to see more of an opportunity for those two? Because you know what, not to knock the woman that you were with, but I think that you need somebody just as goofy who's right next to you. So let's hurry up, writers. Let's get this done.
Oh, absolutely. And every episode I get to do, I feel like, oh, well, this could be it for them. So let's enjoy. And we do kind of it feels like that on set. Like we're just really enjoying each other and our chemistry and our goofiness um, to the fullest because I'm not a regular on the show. I just get to come play every once in a while. So it could be it. So we really just enjoy every moment we get to do it. And we have Melissa and I have a freaking blast together. And our chemistry is really fun, and we play off each other really well. So I get excited every time I get to go be on that show. It's just you know hanging out with friends. It's really great, yeah. And then some choreography.
Did when did you feel that you and Melissa were finally like, because you're right, you come on the show, you're just a guest star. I saw the credits, and you have
Okay.
to you have to essentially, like, I'm playing your boyfriend. When did you feel that you were comfortable? Was it instant? Did you guys like play icebreaker games in order to get to, like, how, for you as an actor on any job, what is that like for you?
Yeah, a lot of times when you have like a love interest or whatever, and it's like day of you meet, and you're supposed to have been, you meet and all that stuff, and it's supposed to be like this either a history that you've had together, or you're just meeting and kind of like falling for each other. Um, I think just kind of getting to know each other on set a little bit, talking about like, where are you from type of stuff, like the base that you really do kind of like date each other before you do it. Thankfully, Melissa is so incredible. We have so many friends in common. We'd met before, but never hung out and stuff. And she's just one of the easiest, coolest people in the world to connect with. And I'm pretty easygoing that way too. So I think that just totally made each other very comfortable and be able to be our silly selves, which I think comes across. So it was pretty like after the first episode we got to do together, we're like, oh yeah, we're bros. Like this is going to be great. She's incredible and she's such a pro. So
Yeah.
that makes it very easy that way too. And I've been doing this for a long time as well. I'm almost got my pro sticker, but I'm hopefully getting that very soon.
I don't know. I think you think you have your pro sticker already, because
I'll take it.
yeah, look, you've been in some of the Veronica Mars, a lot of, you led a YouTube Red show. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're definitely up there.
Okay.
Um, it's I think you do a great job with connecting, and I don't know if I, because it's like dating. It's, it's a professional thing you have to do. You got to get in there, whether you get along with Melissa or not. You guys have to shoot these scenes, and because you're signed up for something. But when it comes to dating, you have that time to open up and be together and blah blah blah. And I think it really works. What was your decision? Not your decision. What was it like when you put on that outfit for the first time? The costume of the disco thing. It looked really great. It was so fun, and I think that you know what? It's your color. The shirt was your color. The pants were very funny. Everybody looked wonderful.
I will have to say thank you for bringing up my wardrobe. It felt right. When I slipped on those bell bottom sparkly pants and the satiny kind of shirt and the platform shoes, it felt correct. It felt like I should be wearing this, and maybe this should be my look every day. I don't have that kind of commitment, but I would feel very comfortable in it, and I loved it. I mean, like when you tuck in a shirt to a bell-bottom tight-fitting sequin pants and pump your hips a little bit, people notice you, which is pretty fun. So I really enjoyed that look, and hopefully I'll get to do another disco thing someday because I love it. It's so great. I don't know.
Well, eventually, when Disney's always remaking their projects in live action. They own The Simpsons now. You could play Disco Stew.
Yeah, there we
Where
go. Live action discos too,
yeah,
or maybe Boogie Nights Part Two. I don't know.
but yeah, Boogie Nights Part Two I think would definitely work.
The
What
boogiest nights.
what are you looking forward to? We're looking forward to most. Should you return in another upcoming episode or season of Night Court? Besides, the paycheck.
What am I looking forward to? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, to see where Melissa and my characters kind of like evolve and develop, even though we've gone through so much, to kind of see where they come out on the other side. Will they stay together? Is it like, is this it? That kind of stuff is pretty fun. So hopefully they keep kissing, because it's pretty fun.
You know what? I always think about that. I always want, if I should I ever act, I would love to just kiss somebody. It'd just be so unbelievable.
It does probably look cooler than it is. I mean, it becomes like, I don't know, just another like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's not like really kissing someone,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
weird, but I don't know. I have to say that because I have a wife. Anyway.
All right, Ryan. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me, man. You're great. As always, it's a pleasure. Keep up the good work, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
All right, Chad. Thanks so much, buddy.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Later.
And we're back. Welcome back in. I hope you enjoyed that interview with Ryan. He's a nice guy. I hope I didn't mess up the toss to the interview, even though I just got finished recording it. All right, here we have a wonderful chat with a great actress who, if you watch TV or movies or like to see plays, then you've definitely seen this very funny person before. You know her, Julia Duffy. Julia Duffy is an actress who has starred in the shows Newhart, who was a part of the cast of Designing Women, who has appeared all across television media in excellent shows such as Shameless and Drake and Josh. And for the rule of thirds, we'll choose one more. Let me scroll. The Love Boat. The Love Boat. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I gotta say that I'm really proud of myself. Julia plays, she's in the show as none other than Ryan Hansen's mother, Susan. And each time she's popped up in the series, she's been excellent. I mentioned this to her. Julia has been a part of some stage productions. And it's interesting to see, and I don't want to give away the question I asked at the top, but it's interesting to see how you have to, as a stage actor, you're playing large so that the entire crowd can see. And on television and in movies, that kind of has to shrink down to the corresponding size of the thing. So anyway, she answers that very well. Julia's a nice person, and she's very funny, and she has some very smart things to say. If I say that about one person, I have to say it about everybody. Everybody says smart things, but Julia was just particularly smart. She's also in Palm Royal. So if you like that show on Apple TV Plus, you should go check it out. But right now we're talking about Night Court. Listen, if you want to follow, if you want to see, I guess, Julia Duffy on the internet, you can check her out at the Julia Duffy on Instagram. And she's got a book. It's called My Bad Auditions. For now, you can enjoy this conversation with Julia Duffy. Thank you for listening. See you soon.
Yes. Hello, Chad.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good to hear. I'm so glad that we're here together today. And I was going to come in here with a bit and put socks inside of my shirt and make it look like I had large breasts, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
realized it wasn't funny.
That was a
Well,
blast. I'm telling you, that required scaffolding, that whole thing. I've never had the prop department in a fitting with me before.
really,
Yeah.
what did you all
They
use?
had to like build it.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Uh, well, I noticed in your resume there were a lot of stage credits, and I was looking at your performances on Night Court and in Palm Royal and Newhart in different areas. I noticed that you, I on stage you have to be big and brash because you have to play to every inch of the house, but you're still doing that in a multicam sitcom,
Hmm.
and it's dialed down. How do you know how much to do when you are um, uh, in front of five cameras as opposed to one camera, or as opposed to just like an audience?
Well, that's a very good question.
Thank you.
And it's tricky because you have the live audience, but they can't always see you because the sets are in different parts of the stage, but they're sitting, in this one part. They can't follow you around like the cameras. So it's kind of its own thing. It's like a hybrid between live theater and film. It's very tricky. And you get used to it after a while, but still there's like uh, you're playing to the audience, you're playing to the camera. It's I don't think it's easy for anyone. I don't think it's simple and easy for anyone.
Yeah, right. It seems like it's a tough job, especially because you have to deal with so many moving parts, even if they're already there in front of you. There's a lot of things that are under your control. Either you know your lines and your movements or not, and then everyone else has to know the exact same stuff. And I feel like even in a show as good and as fun and as silly as Night Court, there's still not a lot of room for improvisation when it comes to when the cameras are on. Did you find that when you popped up for the first time this season?
Well, it's interesting you say that about improvisation because sometimes you just get a great audience
Hmm.
and that makes you think of things and want to be in the moment. When that happened with Melissa and I in the first episode I did, where I was in the hospital after having a breast enlargement and I was hopped up on pills and I didn't know who she was. I thought she was my cousin and I kept calling her by the wrong name. And I was upset with my cousin, so I had to slap her. And we decided the audience was so great, so wild and into it. She and I decided that we were going to do a second slap because I was completely out of it as the character. I didn't know what I was doing. And the reaction from the audience when I slapped her the second time was worth everything. It was so much fun. They didn't expect the first one, and they really didn't expect the second one.
What was it, a stage slap? Was it a real slap? I've got to know.
Oh, they had a stunt guy there. If there's any kind of action at all, our unions require someone to be there. And he just talked to us about how you slap and how she turns her face at the right time. And so it went very well because he really had us practice and it was fine. Her face never turned red or anything like that. So
Was that is that the silliest thing that I mean, I'm glad that somebody was there and also he was getting paid. I love unions for that idea. But was that like the silliest thing that you had to bring in for like a person for mediation for that type of thing for any job? Is that like the silliest thing that's ever
I don't
happened?
know if it's the silliest thing. On Palm Royale, my stunt double was there a couple of times,
Mhm.
and I didn't know why she was there. I'd see her in the makeup room and I'd say, wait a minute, what am I doing that you need to double me for? I did have a stunt with her. She was really great at it. Um, but then when I saw her the other times, it's like, is this because I run out the door? I could run. And I thought, do they think I'm too old to run? But I never really knew why.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow, that's so funny. That's so interesting. What was it like being on set with Melissa? Is she as giving as an actor as I assume she is? Because you've worked with some of the greatest, Newhart included. So for her, do you see like in this new round of multicam sitcom people, do you see that things have changed? Are things getting better in terms of comedy for television? What was that experience like for you?
Well, first of all, she's practically angelic, and she has a reputation for being maybe the nicest person ever in show business. She's very soulful and heartfelt, and you can just immediately become best friends with her if you connect. She's so giving. I mean, I can't even think of enough adjectives for her. It's almost ridiculous. She's so nice, and it's all very real. Um, and she's kind of an old soul. She is steeped in comedy like I'm steeped in comedy. And, not just current comedy, you know, we are two people who go way back in the world of comedy. We know who the old comedy masters are, and a lot of younger people don't. She's much younger than me. But I loved that she had that in her, that comedy knowledge from previous eras. And I think that's important.
And as for John Larroquette, I heard you just hate his guts, right? It's correct.
He is, on the surface, the biggest curmudgeon. And inside, he is the least curmudgeonly person. So it just cracks me up when he's being a curmudgeon, because he's not. He's, you find out that he's really kind, but he has that veneer that I find hilarious. I see
Yeah,
right through it.
I always thought the same thing, especially in the original Night Court series, because he his character, his style of character had been done so many times before and after, and then when you see him play it, it's everything is just over the top, especially because it's in Night Court terms. So I always felt like his character was the least like him like ever compared to if you look at Barney from How I Met Your Mother or Joey from Friends.
Uh-huh.
Even though I know that those are also caricatures, but I feel like John Larroquette just would never ever be who he is on screen in Night Court.
Right. Um, there is something, I don't know why, that his outward curmudgeon just makes him so much more likable, because somehow you see the softy the whole time. Like, what are you hiding? Feelings? Is that what you're hiding? And oh my God, he is the most, his comic delivery is like no one else's. He can do so little and get so much effect from doing the smallest thing. It's very impressive.
Julia, I love hearing your answers. You're a wonderful person, and I'm glad we were able to talk today. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope we can do this again soon.
I hope so, Chad. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, you have a good one. And we're back. I hope you enjoyed those two conversations I had with Ryan Hansen and Julia Duffy. If you want to see, I'm just going to go ahead and end this right now. If you want to see video versions of the previous interviews I've done, go to youtube.com/C plus comedy. We can also see video versions of the podcast, The Constitutionals, LinkedIn Logs, the Jobs podcast, and Late Night Lately, the Late Night Show. Also go to cpluscomedy.com. If you want to follow us on social media, you can at C plus Comedy on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Me at Chad Black White. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.